But, I've seen documentaries. I've seen, thanks to the generation I'm growing up in, I've seen things that can tell me that Jerry West was a little intense. And, again, I doubt he was that intense, but it's clear to me that is a true personality trait of his. Alright. So I'm going to go back to Deebo Samuel requesting a trade. And this is not... It's not like the Niners are not committing to him. If you want to get all that top-of-the-market money, you gotta make a sacrifice, Like, I don't know what the Packers thought was going to happen when they paid Rodgers all that money. I don't know how they expected to get Adams back. But... that's the receivers, like... As the NFL progresses, it seems like players are getting more power. Like, it started with the main position, the quarterback. Now it's spread to the wide receivers. Like, they now can say, I want to leave a team and I want to get this much money, Like, that's what Adams did. He was like, hey, I want to leave. I want to get more money than you're offering me. And now Deebo Samuel's doing it. Players are getting more power. I think, honestly, the best move would have been to move off Garoppolo and if they cleared up all that money, maybe they'd have the money to offer Samuel and get him back. Like, I'm curious of what the actual issue is here. Because, like, I feel like if they're paying... Because they are willing to pay him... I'm sure they're willing to pay him a lot of money, but it's just not as much money as he's hoping to get. But, like, I want to know, like, why he's not, like, at least reasoning with them, at least. Like, I don't know why he's just declining the contract. I want to know the reason of that. But you know where I think he actually works, and this... I think there's two places he works. They're both in the AFC East, ironically. I think he works in New England. And they have... I think San Francisco will still be a great team without him. They have the... I think they'd get solid value from the Pats in a trade. Because they can offer high value. But yeah, I think they'll still be a great team. They'll still give Green Bay nightmares in the playoffs, It looks like the Jets are the second favorite to have him after the Niners, so really, the Jets are the favorite to trade him right now. And they have the cap space for him. And they can offer picks to the Niners. Like they have done in recent years, Just offer picks and they get, the Jets have a lot of picks from that Adams trade, obviously, so. They got all this value to offer. And that's... And again, they got the money to pay Samuel. So they're in a pretty good position to get him. Colts is interesting. I think they're third. But yeah, the Jets have 2 top picks, and I wouldn't mind trading a top pick this year because it's not a big draft class where you look at a player and it's like, wow, I got to get that guy, So I wouldn't mind trading a top pick for this year, give it to the Niners, take Samuel, and, you can pay him the money he's asking for. You got the cap space. Alright. I'm gonna... Alright. Now I'm gonna talk about the game right now. I think it's still going on. Let's just check the progress here. Oh, wow. All right, Nets are up by 10 at half. Is KD going off, like I said? Okay. 15 points. Not bad. All right. But I thought and the Nets are actually underdogs against the Celtics in the series. Even though, again, I think they're a better team on paper. And possibly they could give the Celtics, they could push this to a 7-game series, I think, without a problem. And Brooklyn in the first game did not play as well as I thought they could. As I know they could, actually. So if they play as well as I know they can, they could win tonight, and they could win the series or as a whole. I think the Nets have that ability. I don't think they can go all the way, but they can definitely get to at least second round. Alright. So the Cowboys tight end, Darren Schultz, said that the Cowboys, well, he stated the obvious. The Cowboys were better offense with Cooper. I think he went to the Browns this year. And Dak, I feel bad for Dak. Actually, I don't, because he, like Aaron Rodgers, took a lot of the money that the Cowboys could use to pay certain players. But he's not in a great spot right now. You can't rely on Zeke because he's regressing. And Cooper can't bail you out anymore. But they still have a pretty good... I think they still have a pretty good receiving core. You got CeeDee Lamb. He's developing. And, unlike Zeke, he's actually progressing. And regressing as he gets older. So, I don't like the Cowboys at all. I hate their fan base even more. So, I'm, kind of sadistic towards them. But, I think they're obviously going to be decent this year because they got a conference, what's it called? They got actually, the conference they're in is significantly weaker than, the AFC. And they're in a division that is the weakest in the NFL, so they got a lot of easy matchups. So they're always going to have a decent record, but I will always root against them in the playoffs. Alright. So, Cooper Kupp, when he was asked about signing a possible extension, he said, "I'm not trying to beat anyone." And I think the Rams had a chance to be, I don't want to say dynasty yet, but I think they can possibly threaten back-to-back. Because they're doing things, it's a little more flashy. I think it's a little more flashy version of what Belichick and the Pats did. They don't have a super team. They have, because dynasties are created by humble and selfless players, that aren't too much about the money. Like Brady would always take pay cuts. A lot of players on the Patriots took pay cuts, and that's why they were successful. They weren't the most dynamic team, but they managed to work together, And if his main priority isn't to be the highest paid guy, it's definitely a good start. No, because I think that's where it starts. The Packers could have been something good, but, Rodgers took all that money, and now their future is not as good as it used to be, And don't think I hate Rodgers now. I don't hate him. He's kind of our only chance now, so, can't hate him too much. And I really can't hate on someone for wanting to make money. Plus, it's not essentially the reason Adams left. We had the money to pay him. We were going to pay him the contract, whether it screwed our cap space up or not. He wanted to go to the Raiders for some odd reason. But I do get that. That was just a joke. I get that he wants to be closer to home, and I think he's close to Derek Carr from college, so I get it. Just really wish it did not happen. Alright, let's get some music on here. And then I'm going to wrap it up, actually, I think, after this. So, here we go. Come on. There we go. So, Luka Doncic is uncertain for Game 3, but the Mavericks are hopeful his return is near. But think about this. If I'm the Mavericks, I'm feeling awesome right now. I'm feeling great. The Jazz had their two best players. They had Gobert. They had Mitchell. And both of them played well, too. It's not like one of them had an off night. They had both their players. Both played well. They didn't have Luka, and they still won. And I think getting a win without Luka was key, Because if they got down 2-0, even Luka probably couldn't save them at that point. But, they went against Utah with their two best players. Both played well, and they still won. They did not need Luka. That shows their depth has potential, What's his name? Jalen Brunson dropped 41 out of nowhere. But yeah, if I'm the Mavs, I'm rolling right now. So, Jimmy Butler, dropped 45 to take a 2-0 lead to the Hawks, and they're beating the Hawks in 4 or 5. It's pretty simple. But Jimmy Butler, I think the way he's playing is pretty impressive right now. Had a phenomenal game last night. And he's another guy, not a big stat sheet guy, great value. The Heat are the 1 seed, but he's only averaging 21 points. How can that be? He's got great value. He impacts the game. And finally, Booker went down after straight dominating the Pelicans, and the Pelicans did a good job of taking advantage of that to win the game. 31 points in 24 minutes. Booker, he had a great game. I hope his hamstring injury, isn't anything serious. Because, in that case, I think the Suns win either way. But Booker being out could kill him. And again, they got CP3 to fall back on, though. So, they, I don't think it's anything serious. I'm going to hope at least. And I think the Suns are going to win in 5. Alright. So this was a good day back. I'm going to keep trying whenever I have a chance to get a podcast in. And whenever, you know how it is. Whenever I can, I'll get it in. There might be times where I have to take a long break to get back in, but any chance I get, I'll be on here. This is Dylan Miller on Daily Dose of Dylan, Google Podcast, Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, and I will see you at some point.